The Barnstable Red Cross shelter is changing locations. A 5-term state rep may not be seeking re-election. A local business group wants to host a fall festival this October, and the town has a financial surplus following fiscal year 13. Details on this episode of Barnstable This Morning. It's Wednesday, July 24th. I'm Sarah Mantle. The town's emergency shelter is changing locations for many years. Barnstable High School was the location of our town's shelter, opening up in snowstorms and hurricanes. Deputy Chief of Police Craig Tamish told the school committee that moving the shelter to Barnstable Intermediate School will allow more people to utilize the shelter.
We heard very loud and very clear after Hurricane Sandy, where the shelter was open, but we did not accept pets, and if you had pets, they had to go to Yarmouth. In all my years, I haven't seen quite the response. First of all, in a normal storm, very often we may only get 10 or 20 people to the shelters. People tend not to go to the shelters. But because of, I think, primarily an aging population, we're starting to see a little bit of a shift in that. So, the shelters, I think, are being used more. Obviously, we're seeing a greater intensity of storms that are hitting the Cape, greater frequency of storms that are hitting the Cape, but the underlying program really is not changing.
The school committee voted unanimously to approve the location change following that testimony. Barnstable teacher and author Mick Carlin was recognized during this week's school committee meeting. Carlin was awarded the Human and Civil Rights Award by the Massachusetts Teachers Association. Committee Chair Margot Weber thanked Carlin for his work.
Many of the citizens of the town of Barnstable have either been taught by Mick Carlin or who know people who have been taught by Mick Carlin know what an honor it is for us to have him in the system, and we're just proud that others are recognizing you as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a little comical that a guy who glows in the dark on the beach gets a Civil Rights Award, but it was quite the honor. And the lady who the award is named after, Kay Roberts, I did a little research before I met her, what she did during her 50-plus years in education to encourage diversity is amazing. Then I met the woman. I thought I was talking to a 75-year-old woman. She's 98 years old, just an amazing lady. So thank you very much, folks. Thank you.
Thanks, Mick.
Carlin is the author of Riding Duke's Train. Longtime State Representative Cleon Turner may not be running again for his seat on Beacon Hill. Turner told Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin that he is considering retirement. Turner also said the past 9 years in office have been a great learning experience.
Enlightening and invigorating and discouraging all at one time, or at various times throughout the 9.5 years that I have been there. I was surprised when I first got there at how little the rest of the legislature understands about Cape Cod. They all think we're rich down here, so they tend to think that whenever we ask for something or say we have some needs, that we're either exaggerating or simply wanting more instead of just wanting a fair share. So that was an interesting enlightenment for me. A little discouraging in that as I get there and learn, and most legislators get there and learn and see what the faults are with the legislature, that as we talk about those faults and think we want to change them, that as the discussion goes on, it's realized, at least by me, in my opinion, and I'm sure that some legislators would disagree with me, that legislators don't really want to change, or at least they don't have the courage to change the way things operate.
Turner is serving his 5th term in office. The town of Barnstable is building up its rainy day fund. The finance department is currently reviewing fiscal year 2013. Finance Director Mark Milne says most departments came in under budget, creating a surplus of funds.
That's our rainy day fund to help build our rainy day funds. We use that surplus to balance operating budgets or capital programs, and so we have to have some kind of mechanism to regenerate the surplus when we do use it. So this is how you regenerate it. If you have excess revenues over your budget estimates, that goes back to restoring the surplus that you use to balance your operating and capital budget.
Milne says part of the revenue growth is from an increase in motor vehicle excise tax and a recently enacted meals tax. Well, you will have to go up a few extra flights of stairs if you're headed to the clerk's office over the next few months. The first floor office is getting a few updates and will be moved to another location in Town Hall. I popped in to get details from Town Clerk Ann Quirk. This morning, we are in Town Hall. We are talking here with Town Clerk Ann Quirk. We're talking about a recent renovation to Town Hall. You guys, your office is moving temporarily. Tell me a little bit about why the office is moving.
Once the renovations were completed to the outside of the building, and we have such a gorgeous building now from the outside, it was time to start working on the inside. I'm sure lots of folks out there have been in here and seen the walls kind of peeling and cracked and things like that. So this was the first step in changing all that.
So for anyone wanting to come to Town Hall and visit the clerk's office, they're going to need to head somewhere different. They are not going to be right on the first floor when they walk into Town Hall. Where can they find the new temporary clerk's office?
Any birth from 1987 to the current time, any new death records within the 2013 year, or any new marriage records within the 2013 year, will all be on the third floor. Now, the great thing is that there is elevator access to the third floor, and there is handicap parking outside of the building at the lower end, so that people can just take an elevator up. The other work that'll be done up there will be dog licenses, business certificates, all the things that they came in the office to see us about will all be upstairs. On the first floor, where I am, we will be doing the voting and the census information. We're taking in the petition papers right now for all the nominees that are going for the town council seats. And we're handling any births, deaths, or marriages that happened prior to 1987 for births and prior to 2013 for deaths and marriages.
And like you said, an elevator is accessible, and you've also pasted a lot of signs to let everyone know where to go. And if they get lost, there are lots of friendly faces around here to help them find their way.
Absolutely. Everybody is aware and everybody is willing to help, and we have big signs posted. But if you have any questions, just come see us. We'll take care of you.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm with Town Clerk Ann Quirk for Channel 18. I'm Sarah Mann. Quirk says that residents are encouraged to do business with the clerk's office via mail whenever possible. The Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce is already planning for this fall. President and CEO Jessica Sylver says the organization would like to host a fall festival in October.
The goal is to eventually next year, hopefully, is to get some events every weekend in the month of October and in the different villages, so we can highlight those villages on a specific day during the month of October. So we've got a lot of work to do. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Pumpkin contests, and I don't know if we can somehow have them in each of the villages, and then the winner from those comes to the village green on the last day of the, on Halloween or something, and then it gets picked. We've got all kinds of great ideas.
Sylver says the one thing they don't have yet is a name for the fall festival. So if you have thoughts or suggestions, the Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce would be happy to hear them. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mann.